This is Natan Edelsberg. We're here at MIPCOM at the Drums Found Remote booth. We're here with Ivor Crotty, the head of social media for RT. We're really excited you're here.
Sure.
Thanks so much. And
nice
if you could just start by telling us a little bit about what you do at RT and why you're here at MIPCOM.
Okay. Let's start with MIPCOM because it's kind of the overwhelming reality at the moment. Indeed. So I'm here basically to stay in touch with our key partners, our key platform partners, and to do a little bit of product demoing, and to do a little bit of PR, basically. Okay. So a little bit of everything in a really concentrated space of time. MIP's been a really kind of useful space for us to work in over the last couple of years, and we didn't see any reason why not to come back this year.
Great. And so, as head of social for RT, this big organization, what's your day-to-day like? What are you actually doing from a day-to-day basis?
Well, I guess we're scaling up at the moment. I think I'm really happy to say we're seeing some scale. We've passed some major thresholds in the last week. We hit 3 million Facebook likes on the international channel. We hit 500,000 on the US Facebook channel. And on the YouTube side, we're seeing a lot of growth right now on subscriber numbers, watch time, and views. We've kind of rejigged our front page and kind of restructured our pitch on YouTube, and that's been really fun. So a lot of my day, unfortunately, isn't where I'd like it to be, which is kind of in the editorial trenches, like working out copy and making sure things are SEO'd and pulling angles out of stuff. And remember, we're a media first organization, so there's a lot of content coming through. Yeah, for us, a lot of the time, I guess a lot of the energy is exerted on choosing the juice, making sure we've pitched it right, and making sure our people, our communities, particularly on Facebook and YouTube, get what they expect. I think there's a big expectation set out there for what the RT product is right now.
And are there any challenges dealing with so many different social networks? Not just the fact that there's now Periscope and Vine or whatnot, but the fact that as a global company, there are different social networks in Russia, there's different ones in the US. How do you keep track of all the passwords? And I don't mean that literally. I mean that as a joke, kind of.
I have this huge piece of paper. We have this board on the wall.
It's like as big as this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. FBI photographs and all that. So basically, we've realized that like each platform has its own kind of character specificities. And we just kind of focus on those, so like there's not a lot of difference between how we work in Facebook in English and Facebook in Spanish or Arabic and Russian, for example. Now, yeah, there are platforms like WhatsApp in the Spanish world, for example. Facebook is a massive traffic driver in the Arabic world, and then you have Contacti, of course, in the Russian market, which is a hugely important partner for us in that space. But we basically see them as kind of mini verticals within the social sphere, and we work reasonably smoothly with them. The teams themselves, everybody knows their market, and I think everybody knows when it's right to use a drop of humor, when it's right to use a little bit of color, a little bit of tone in the product, or something a little bit trolly or snarky. We don't apply those unilaterally across the language spaces, obviously, but each platform does kind of it does kind of suggest to you, like, you can try this kind of a tweet might work for you, that kind of thing. So, in terms of managing them all, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah. It really is. But there are great platforms out there that allow kind of, social media managers consolidate, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, what are your favorite tools, both the managing and maybe like the analytics side of things?
Oh, okay. So, to be honest, from my point of view on the macro side, Google Analytics is fine for me. We're like, it might sound a bit old school, but we are a homepage first news organization right now, and so for us, an awful lot of what is important to us is flagged within the Google Analytics space. I'm a news junkie, so data miner for me is just been great fun. We are rolling that out across the organization, I'm really proud to say, and we're data miner partners at this stage. So Twitter's great for us as a news discovery device, a broadcast device. We don't use it for engagement at all. Yeah. But Facebook in particular, I guess, is probably something a unique area where we really intersect with our people. And we've just launched a video channel on Facebook as well, because obviously RT was not top of the invitee list when it came to instant articles. And like some other globally oriented news channels, we found ourselves a little bit on the outside of what was going on with Facebook in April and May, and we had to double down there and realize why things were not going the way we wanted. We did. We came back with a new strategy and we're growing again, so we're happy. Yeah.
Great. What are your personal favorite platforms, if you had, if any?
Hard to say, man. You get a bit sick of them all, you know.
Text messaging?
Yeah, SMS. Yeah, SMS is probably right up there. It's kind of binary and simple. For me, like I say, I'm a news discovery guy. Data Miner is a great tool. Yeah. I think it's it's one of the reasons I love working in digital and social is because it disrupts the hell out of the news industry. Legacy brands are scrambling to keep their shit together. Data Miner to me just kind of is emblematic of that disruptive power.
Yeah.
We found ourselves experiencing massive traffic spikes around breaking news. We're pitching ourselves as a digital breaking news organization and a best practice organization in that sense. You don't have time to screw around when it's breaking. You got to get your facts right, and there's a hard newsroom element to that as well. So I'm really enjoying working with that tool. I think it inspires a lot of us in the newsroom to do a bit better.
Great. And has it, about 5-6 years ago, it was kind of hard to convince journalists to embrace all of this. Has that changed at all? Are you finding it easier? Or do you have any tips for, someone who's kind of the expert in your organization, how to convince them why it's worth tweeting, why it's worth tracking these things?
Well, first of all, okay, I'm not the expert. There are guys that work in my team that are experts, and they are awesome. Awesome. Advice. I think the legacy brands and the giants are always really happy together, and they'll always, Facebook has to go to, The Economist and Bild and Guardian and the giant, digital news brands. We're not that terribly far away from them. I mean, we're cruising at about, maybe 30-40% of what the Guardian might do, and they're supposed to be the biggest digital brand in the world, or whatever. So, those guys, from what I know from people who've worked there or who've experienced it there, of course, there are big growing pains. We're really lucky. In one sense, we're really lucky. We don't have that legacy to deal with.
Yep.
In the other, those guys have massive, enormous traditions and capacities built over years of reliable news generation, and one of the things that I think we might struggle with, particularly in the digital space, is, you got to watch your fakers. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
I see that for me there's a yin and yang to that situation with the legacy brands. For us, we're just really excited to be competitive, really excited to be able to go toe-to-toe with people in the first 2 or 3 minutes of a big story.
Yeah.
That's really where the juice is for us and where the big numbers are. Advice to guys, just digitize before it's too late. Just get digital,
Good advice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate it.